Daily Wander. Today we are wandering our last trail of this trip. And we chose to do the Minuteman bike path or rail trail, or I don't know, I see lots of different references. But basically we're starting down in the Cambridge area, and we're roughly following the path of Paul Revere. So we're going to go north. We'll be traveling through Lexington and then on to Concord. And somewhere in all that, I think we're hoping to get a little sense of history. Although from the ride down earlier, that might be a little tough to get. Because obviously, in the time since that famous ride occurred, a lot of buildup has happened along the way. But nonetheless, that's all right. We've talked to a couple quite kind people that have given us some ideas and directions. But right now, we're going to start heading north. We're going by land, but not by sea. So this is one of the spots that Paul Revere rode by, and then a battle happened the next day. But what's notable about this is that the gentleman that lived here apparently killed 3 British soldiers. So they beat him and bayoneted him and left him for dead when he was 80 years old. But apparently he recovered and made it to the age of 98. So we're approaching Lexington now. And so back in Paul Revere's day, he would have come up this way, warning all the homes and farms along the way that the British Army was marching on their way to Concord. Just read a plaque that basically said the famous statement, "The British are coming," is in fact inaccurate. That he in fact never issued that statement, but more along the line, the army is on the move, because these were still in part loyal British citizens up here, and he definitely would have been found out had he stated it the way folklore presents it. So we've cycled up to Lexington, and you can see behind me, that is the statue. It sits at the end of the Lexington Green. Lexington Green is where the militia, the Minuteman, and the British soldiers had their encounter, and this is the spot from which the shot heard around the world happened. This is the monument to the 8 men that died here, as well as 1 British soldier who was wounded, who succumbed to his wounds, and the people of Lexington chose to bury him on the same spot. which truly was an honorable thing to do given the tensions of the time.
This house, Hartwell Tavern, stands in the town of Lincoln, about halfway between Lexington, where the first colonists were killed, and Concord, where the first British soldiers died.
Stop it!
The patrol detained Revere, only to set him free without his horse a few hours later. But Prescott, being left, eluded the soldiers and spurred his horse toward Concord to deliver the alarm.
Well, we now find ourselves on a trail that I don't know the name of, but having completed the Minuteman Battle Way Road, we turned, well, right, not sure what direction that is, and we are now headed back to the start of the Minuteman. Well, that's a wrap of our ride today. Cycled the Minuteman rail trail from Bedford down to, I guess the other end was somewhere in Arlington, just outside of Boston. Then we came back up a little ways, did a little detour over through the Minuteman National Historic Site, got to ride the trail that the British and the initial American colonists had their, well, conflict on, which then led to a revolution, which led to a new country. So that concludes the ride for the day, and actually this is the last trail of this trip. So we ended up cycling 20 different trails for somewhere over 400 miles, give or take. I'm not sure the exact. They've all been good. A few have been a little better, but a nice trip here on the Daily Wander. Thanks for coming along. I think I will post one more video after this, kind of maybe showing you the equipment, or I don't know, all that kind of stuff some people get into. But until the next video, thanks for coming along on the Daily Wander.